Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur La retraite à 40 ans, le podcast pour prendre sa vie en main. Chaque dimanche, retrouvez une personne comme vous qui échange sans fil sur ses origines, ses ambitions, ses aspirations, sa relation à l'argent. Je m'appelle Victor Laura, je suis l'expert français du frugalisme et du mouvement FIRE, Financial Independence and Retire Early, indépendance financière et retraite précoce. Retrouvez mon livre La retraite à 40 ans, c'est possible aux éditions Larousse. Pour rejoindre le mouvement FIRE, c'est sur devenirfrugaliste.com. Il y a une communauté, des workshops et des outils.
Good morning, everyone. Here is the first episode in English of La retraite à 40 ans. And I'm so pleased and I'm so happy to have you here, Daria. Welcome, Daria.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So it's the first time for both of us, you, I think, in a French podcast about like investments, and me, it's the first time in English. So we'll see what's going to happen. So today, to give like an idea, an overview of what we're going to talk. So you are now living in Bali. You did an investment in Bali. Before you were a model. Now you have your own company, like as a yoga teacher, and maybe more. You are going to tell me everything about it. And also you are Russian, and you decided to come in Bali. So we want to understand why. And we're also going to talk about what is different between French people and maybe Russian people about money, because it's a podcast about money and investments. And the last thing is, as a yoga teacher, how you can help people just to keep doing stuff with businesses, investments, because the more you are doing investments, the more you are managing money, taking risks, the more you have maybe stress, maybe a lot of things you need to deal with. So how you can help people, how yoga can help people about this. This is the intro. So now you have everything that we're going to talk about. So in 4 sentences, Daria, can you tell us who you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Daria. I'm a yoga teacher. In the past, I've been modeling in US, in Europe. I also been living in Paris for 1 year. And then I moved here to Bali. I started to teach here. And about 1 year ago, I decided to try real estate business here, and I just finished Ubud, so I have quite fresh information what is happening now in Bali, and I would love to share it.
So nice. I saw pictures of your house, so maybe I don't know if I can have some. I can put them if I'm editing, because your house is like so nice.
Thank you.
So where were you born in Russia? Was it in like Moscow, or was it someone else?
I born in Saratov. It's south of Russia, and then me and my parents we moved to Moscow when I was 15. And then at a quite young age, I started to travel, and then I moved to US when I was 18. So I was living there for 2 years, and then I moved to Europe. And as I said, 3 years ago, I moved here to Bali.
Were your parents like rich or middle classes? Were you talking about money? Because I know that when you are doing that kind of job, or what I know about it, it's like you go like away, like really young also. So we're gonna talk about this. But were they rich? When they're not rich? How you see the money side of your parents?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's just a regular family. My parents did good money, enough to live. I never felt that we are suffering or we have like limited in something. But my parents always wanted me to have a very high goals, and they wanted me to travel. We used to travel a lot when I was a kid. And then when I had a chance to model in abroad in France and US, of course I said yes, because that time it was a good opportunity. Now, of course, things changed, and now I will say Russian models not so popular as was before. Also because of the political situation in the country, in the world, and this we can discuss later. But that time it was a good opportunity because it was good money, and plus I could earn by myself. So I was independent in a quite young age, which was also good. But of course, I was studying, and it was, but yeah, in I think like 17, 18, I started to travel and separated from my parents. And since then, I feel that's, quite successful in my life and being able to do what I want. Like modeling, it was a way for me to discover the world, to explore the world, and also to be able to pay for my expenses by myself.
It's really interesting for me to understand. So you have brothers, siblings, like brothers and sisters, or you're
Only cousins.
only cousins? So you are the only child.
Yeah.
Your parents, they were working in an office, or they had a business already, or what kind of jobs they?
My mother, she was a lawyer, and but now she retired. And my father, he owns a business like car shop. That time it was a good business, but then since sanctions happened after war in Ukraine, like in 24, like in the Crimea.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
first one, like
First one.
2014, or
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a sanctions, and he like lost his business. So then he started to invest, and that's partly what helped me to invest, because I then invested money in an apartment in Moscow, and that's how I bought my house here by selling my apartment in Moscow. So yeah, I would say my father still he's helping me with some advices, and I would say they had a good like important part in my life and choosing good decisions for me and for my investments.
So your mom, like, to be a lawyer in Russia, is it difficult?
Oh yeah, it's very stressful work, and she even had problems with health because it's very stressful, and it's a lot of corruption in Russia, and like my mother, she been living in this environment for a few years, and I knew I don't want this kind of life. And I always was more like easygoing, and plus model life is more about like you're taking pictures, you're traveling, you're like surrounded by like artists and stylists, like very like easygoing people. So yeah, my life style definitely different from my parents, and they're more materialistic, I will say. So for me, because I always been into wellness and into spirituality, and that's actually how I started to business, because I was feeling that I have enough capacity, like energy to do that, and knowledge, because it's also about networking, it's about how you can negotiate with people. And I was feeling that because I was quite centered and at my core, because of my practice and because of my belief system, I could do something in a business, because eventually, of course, you need to have a knowledge and experience in business, but I would say the most important is to have enough energy and, source to be able to work and succeed in, everyone can open a business, but the question is, will it be successful?
Yeah, I think you're right, because okay, if you're really good but you don't have energy, you're not doing anything. If you don't have health, you cannot do anything. Especially if you have and maybe you have health issues now. Not kind of have health issues, but because you are doing sport kind of every day. Okay, on one hand it's good, but on the other hand, you can also use your body. And if you go to the gym every day, the risk of having an injury is higher than if you don't go, even if it's better for your body. So what I'm trying to say is just when you have like a problem with your arm or whatever, and you have like a chronic problem or disease, it's really hard to keep up and to be able to do stuff in your life. So I totally agree with you. So if we go back, so you were like a ambitious mom, successful, but working a lot, and the ambition and success, sometimes you saw that it can be like bad for people. And it's true that depending on what you want to do, you have good stuff, but also bad stuff linked to it. And on your dad's side, you saw a guy doing business, sales business, because real car sales management business. And you saw that you can make money out of it, good money out of it, but you also saw that you can lose your money because if things are changing around you, maybe the business is not going to work. So you know everything. You learned this from your parents. And when they were looking at you, they were not... For example, if I have a daughter in my family, like education is really important. And if I have a daughter, but we are really open-minded also. Let's be strange. We are really open-minded, but also like education is really important. So even if I'm saying to my daughter, you can do whatever you want in life. Actually, my dad said this to me. Oh, you can travel, do whatever, but I don't want in my blood. I need to do I need to study. I need to be good at school. And so I went to study or whatever. So your parents, when you had this opportunity of modeling, they were really happy for you, or they were like, maybe we're going to send her daughter, she's 17, 16 or whatever in Paris or New York. She's going to live with other models. Maybe we're going to lose her in maybe drugs, maybe alcohol, because you also have this. And you have guys that want to manipulate you because it's like young girls. You have all this atmosphere. So were they really okay with this? Or they were, maybe you need to study because you have potential, you can maybe take the business of your dad or whatever. What were their way of looking at this, and why you decided to go? Maybe it was because of travels. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I started to travel at quite young age, and so from my mother's side, I didn't see any difficulties. She always was very supportive. But of course, my dad, he was not really happy with it, but I always was feeling that I'm different from my dad, because my dad, as I said, he's a very materialistic person, and he always was focusing on money. And I saw how he's not losing himself, but he's still not happy, even by, because by focusing on money, he was feeling that he's safe. And because at that time, especially in Russia, you needed to be stable, financially stable. That was the only priority in life. I think nowadays people realize it's not enough, and you need something more, health, mental health, feeling more connected, I don't know, with even simple things that also part of life, right? It's not only this wheel that you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's because before, maybe I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know Russia at all. So maybe before, they had economic crisis, and maybe they were seeing people not having money at all. So they just wanted to have the minimum. After war or in different situations, sometimes you just want to make sure you can live. And once you have this, and now it's different also because you have social media, you have a lot of things now. So I think it's very different. But maybe you want to be stable, and it's the priority. And maybe now people they understand that just being stable, you can reach it, and it's not that difficult. Just stable. But now, because of how the world is, with social medias, with everything about it, you can use yourself. You can watch so many movies. You can eat as much as you want. You can
abundance of
everything. Yeah. So now it's what you are doing now is really important, and more people are going to yoga now because people they are trying to find, I think, a new equilibrium, and they understand that when you consume, it's limited at one point. What I wanted to say is okay, so you left. At what age you left Russia?
Yeah, 16, 17. I mean, I started to travel. It's not like I left and never back.
Okay.
My first trip was without my parents, but they always was on touch with me. And of course, we still was traveling together. And we used to travel for vacation 2 times a year. It was stable still.
Okay.
But for work, because that time, again, it was a good opportunity. And, Russian models was very trendy, and I've been working with I was working with many good designers. So for me, it was wow, like this is like dream life.
Were you afraid?
I think no, because that time I didn't have that experience. And, we are humans. The fear comes from the experience. Once you have that negative experience, your subconsciousness register it. And then if something similar happening, then it's triggering you. So that time, I think, when you're quite young, you're like, okay, I wanna rock it, you don't have limits, right? And I think that time, that's why also it was successful for me, because I was like, here you go. Like, I just was super confident. I knew that I had good, like I was super tall, skinny, full of ambitions. And this what world like, like all world always welcoming these people because they full of energy and people sense it. And I think in any job, it's not only about skill, but also like what kind of energy you can bring to any project. It can be any business, any hobby, anything.
Actually, I think you're really right. For me, the energy now, it's one of the first things that I'm looking at. And actually, people that are coming to me now because of my energy, because they know that if they are around me, or things are going to move. I'm going to talk, I'm going to do things or whatever, and they want to be part of it. So I really think that the mindset, the mood, the energy that you have is going to create a lot. Okay, you need to think a bit. Okay, you need to work a lot. Okay, in different fields. If tomorrow I want to do yoga, I want to be a yoga teacher, I need to work a lot, 1,000, 10,000 hours. I need to understand stuff and to work on myself also, because I'm not the typical guy for yoga to start, because it's not my center of interest, and I'm not too much into wellness. But if you have the energies, I think is the most important. And after, you just need to work. And work is just hours. So if you can do it, you're really successful. How tall are you?
178.
178?
Yeah.
And because you said that you were tall. So I was like, and to be, we're going to move out of the model subject, because it's not the domain interest. The only thing, maybe I have like 3 questions. We're on a podcast about money. So how much were you making? If you are good to say how much you were making during that time. So how much were you making, like your best months and the average?
Well, it's depending on the country, because you also need to pay taxes, right? And it's also taking big part sometimes. But like I had a few projects when I could like make $10,000 a week on the fashion weeks, especially because I was fashion model, and I was doing good shows like A and B. It's like the top shows, and for one show you could easily make like $1,000, and then you have 3, for example, a day if it's a good catch.
What is a good, like it's a good brand that have rankings, right? Like top 1 or a
Yes, actually, top brands, sometimes they pay nothing because it's a privilege to work with them. I mean, it's a good brands, known brands, but or for example, you do Fashion Week in Europe, and then, I don't know, like Milan or Paris, and then Spain or like Asian fashion weeks, they want you because they saw you on pictures, and then they book you. And then you don't need to do castings, fittings, of course, but then you just come, you have a show, it takes less time, and they pay really good money. So
best month, because Fashion Week, it's like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Well, you can do like few fashion weeks in a row, because it starts in New York, London, Milano, Paris, and then New York, London, Milano, Paris.
Well, let's say New York, when it is, and Paris, like what is you have a week in between? You have, I don't know how it works.
There's no weeks in between. I mean, if you just do Fashion Week in New York and Paris, then you have 2 weeks break, because you need to wait when London and Milano Fashion Week's over. Yeah, but if you do like one by one, like, okay, New York, some girls doing it, and it's really energy training. It's like after months of fashion weeks, you like completely dead. And usually lookbooks and campaigns job starting right after Fashion Week, so you still need to look fresh. So it's like, so I've been living in this space for a while, and I was not doing all Fashion Weeks in a row. I will never do that, but I did Fashion Weeks in New York, and Milano, and Paris.
So in a month, your best month, it was like what, 20, 30?
$25,000. I mean, with taxes or minus taxes.
Minus taxes. So, okay, depending on where you are. Okay.
Mhm.
And what was your best memory from modeling?
Best what?
Memory, like the best thing.
Memory.
You're your best one, and after it's like your worst, you know. So let's start with the worst.
Yeah, I can't
Okay, the worst one.
I mean, when I was doing modeling, I loved it for a few, in that age, it was actual for me. I was very social, and I loved this, excitement before a show, and like to work with cool designers. But once I had the show for Montclair, maybe you know this brand. Yeah, and we had a show outside. It was in New York in the winter time. Next to Central Park, which is like north of New York, Manhattan. And before the show, there was a snowstorm, and it was super cold. It was like it felt like minus 40. Of course it was like, but still, it was super cold. And we had a fitting outside. And then we had a show in the evening, when it's even more cold. And I remember how cold it was, and our designers, the Montclair designers, they gave us shots of vodka before the show, because that's how cold it was, and this is reality. And I think still people doing it, because you need to survive. And they plan this show, like you can see it on YouTube. It's watching YouTube, it's fascinating. Like they had the dancers, and it was so many people watching, and it was a great show. And they planned this show 1 month before, I guess, so there was no chance to cancel it. But it's one of the craziest jobs.
A bad one or a good one? Like I don't know.
Or, no, I was like freezing,
And drunk.
Not drunk. Only one shot. I'm not drinking, by the way. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. Some models crying from
Cold.
So yeah.
Another so this one is in between. Another one, like a really bad. You have something where you were like, okay, I want to stop. Like it's so bad. It's so.
I think that's why I stopped modeling. I just was feeling that it's this not lifestyle, but it's about consuming. I'm not saying anything. I love fashion, and I admire many brands in the fashion industry, but we can see how it's changed for last 5 years, and plus the consumers, and this cycle of change and fashion every month, and how it's affecting our planet. And I'm really into it, because I can't just be, ignore what's happening in the world now. And I think we need to focus more on the planet, and on how to slow down, and how to really be more diplomatic with each other, and be like more friends with, in the fashion industry, models, they're very competitive. You can also feel it. Not everyone, but you also can feel it. And it's a stressful job, because you want to be the best. It's like you need to focus more on how you look like, and how you the image of a model. And I think at some point I felt it's not suitable for me anymore, because I just had different lifestyles. So if you want to ask me how I started yoga, because I'm a yoga teacher now.
Yeah, it's exactly this. It's like at one point you decide, after how many years you decided to stop?
Yeah.
And when you were, or you already had the idea of like becoming a yoga teacher already, or for you, you were like lost at one point, you know, when you're changing a job or a career, at one point you're like, okay, I did this for a couple of years. Maybe I don't know how to do anything else. What happened, and how was your decision to go and do yoga?
Yeah, it's true. Some models, they used to, like, it's a comfort zone. You travel in, you making good money. It's a, nice opportunity. And it's really when you feel like, okay, maybe it's an age, or maybe, I want to try something new, but you don't know what, because you've been doing it for your whole life, right? So when I was living in New York for 2 years, that time, for the first time in my life, I was burned out, and I was feeling that I mentally not, that I'm not really at my core. I'm not feeling myself 100%. Then I started to practice yoga, and I really liked it. And that time it was just a physical practice for me. And then I started to travel again, and still was modeling for a while. And at some point, I remember when I was in New York, I was walking on Times Square, and there's a huge billboards everywhere. And I saw a lingerie commercial with a plus size models. And it was 10 years ago.
So it was new.
Yes, exactly. Now, like, it's so many plus models in the US, but that time it was something new, because still super skinny girls was like number one. And I was like, okay, I need to change, because I was feeling I always trying to follow some criteria, to follow fashion. And I couldn't be myself, because I was just a model, you need to follow the trends. But that time I was like, no, this is too much for me. So I need to find a way to find a new job, because if fashion one day gonna say, okay, we want plus size model, I'm not gonna put weight just because I want to have a job, You always, you don't feel like you can be 100% free in expressing yourself. Like, you need to follow specific rules. But now actually it's different. I mean, if you're influencer, if you're a model with many followers, and you have your brand, because many models actually, they start in their brand now, or they do something else, but they very active in the social media. It's different story, but I'm saying 10 years ago it was different.
You already had an Instagram at that time?
Yeah, that time it's slowly started, but it was not so important that time.
My question is, okay, so you were a model. Now you have like 70,000 followers on Instagram. Congrats. 67.
Yeah. Around, yeah.
Yeah, around. I saw it like today, yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
And so congrats. It's amazing. I think it's, for me, it's a lot. Actually, I don't know if it's a lot, but for me, it's a lot. So before, when you created this as a yoga teacher, or you had all that followers because of modeling?
Yeah, mostly because of modeling, it's true. Because that time Instagram was new, and it was more about pictures. It was more about, also girls looking nice, and I was traveling, so my lifestyle was perfect for Instagram. Plus, I was hanging out with influencers and also models. So I got many followers from just reposting pictures with some influencers and bloggers.
And on what you have today, you will say that most of it's from this, or...
No, now it's like half. And to be honest, when I started yoga path, I decided for myself, I want people to see me as a yoga teacher, because this is my life now. I'm not really modeling now. Of course, I do it. Like, I have many I know many good brands here in Bali, and sometimes I'm still open for shootings, but it's not, part of my life. I'm just doing it sometimes because either it's my friends or I feel it's the philosophy of the brand really resonating with me. And yeah.
So you were like, I would have a money question again. When you stopped like modeling, you had money on the side. You already bought your apartment in Moscow. Like, what did you do with your money actually? Because if it's, I don't know, maybe you made, maybe 400,000 euros, maybe dollars of cash. I don't know, maybe I think it's around this. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
what did you do with this money? You bought an apartment. Maybe you spend part of it. No, you are not into consumerism. So, but living in New York is very expensive also. So,
Yeah.
what did you do with this money? And were you on the money side maybe safe? Because if you already have your apartment in Moscow, you can say to yourself, okay, I can stop. Actually, you can also say to yourself, you can go back to modeling if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
So where was your money? Was it invested? And after, what were your targets with like yoga? Because I don't know how much money you are making now, but depending on where your money is from, modeling is, as you said, like it's a lot of money. So when you start to do like yoga sessions, actually, I don't know, because we're going to talk about the yoga stuff here, because I think you can make a lot of money here doing yoga. But so where was your money? Did you buy 1-2 apartments? And what was your mindset about this?
Yeah, so I think some models struggling with investing money because they don't have experience, especially when you're young and you have some cash and you don't know what to do with it. But you're like young and you want to have fun and you want to have pretty, like nice clothes and. So for me, my parents, when I started to make money, my dad was like, okay, you need to collect money. So it was like him keeping my money.
So you were giving your money to your dad?
Yeah, because I knew if I will have cash, I will spend it.
Because we have friends in common, where maybe, if your family, they don't, you have a lot of brothers and sisters, maybe you give cash to your family, and actually they're going to use your cash just to live, because you have like, I don't know, a lot of brothers and sisters, or maybe your parents need this money too. So he didn't take your money?
Oh, of course not.
So it was on the side?
Yeah.
And after so you had, do you remember the first time you were like, fuck, I'm really making money? Do you remember this moment, or?
Yes, of course.
And how was it? How was your feeling?
But I'm not so attached to money.
Okay, so for you it was, okay, I'm making good money, and you were like, okay, like during 2 seconds you were like, okay, it's good, and after you were like,
Yeah, for me it was like, okay, let's do something else. For me, it's just opportunity to have financial freedom and then do what I love, like yoga, for example, because the topic about making money, like we will discuss it on the first year, you're not really making money, and of course I needed passive incomes to survive, but because I had the money from my apartment, it was not a problem.
So you had money. What did you do with it? You bought an apartment in Moscow and you rented it, or?
Yeah, so we invested, with my money, we invested in 2 apartments, but it was not ready. It was super cheap that time because building was not ready yet. Okay. After 3 years, it was ready. Then we did the renovation. That time I still was modeling.
Okay.
And then eventually after 4 years, I had apartments in Moscow and I was able to rent it out. And then I went to Bali and I decided to teach yoga.
So to understand you, so you were waiting for this moment to have like passive income?
Yeah.
So actually maybe now, I don't know if you're okay with this type of subject at all, but me, it's my subject. It's like, so now you are financially free?
Yeah.
So you don't need to work?
I mean, it depends. Like if I will travel every week, spend money on the flights and I go to I don't know, to restaurants every day. Here in Bali, it's quite cheap. So here, of course, I feel financially stable without working too hard. But if I will live in Europe, of course, it will be different because, again, I invested this money. Then I sold one of the apartments. So I was building here for 1 year. I didn't have any incomes from this house because it was not ready yet. I just rented it out yesterday.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Um,
So let's see how.
and if we want to rent your house, where do we find it on Airbnb or we contact you
No, through the agency.
agency? So
Yeah.
or put your Instagram on the agency.
Well, it's not legal here. We can
Oh,
discuss it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you can do it, but it's you never know if they catch you, then they can deport you from.
Okay. Yeah, I think here there it's another subject, but I think here there are
Yeah,
specific things there like really not, especially in drugs, and if you do drugs here, I think it's really bad for you.
yeah,
And they
of
can,
course.
yeah, like in France, if you have like I think weed, it's not a big problem now. I think because everyone is smoking weed there. I'm not smoking weed. Like everyone in Paris, I think not everyone, but like maybe 50% of the people here. I think if you're smoking weed or doing something, is you really too bad.
But people still doing it.
Yeah.
Because of corruption. Like you can,
Oh.
of course, you need to pay lots of money for it,
Mhm.
but still people doing it. I also not into drugs, but I've
Okay.
heard some stories.
So you were kind of financially free. Maybe I can ask Lydia. So can I ask real numbers, or it's not you want to talk?
No, I'm quite open with it. So, because that time I had 2 apartments.
Yeah.
One was in a good location. It was like but because that time when it was ready, again, sanctions happened. We had the unstable situation with the ruble because of the war. So it was $1,000 from one apartment, and then another 800 because building still was new, and there was renovation and the noise. So we rented out for a super cheap price just to have some income. So that time it was like, let's say $2,000.
Actually, I looked a bit like Moscou before the war, and actually it was kind of a good place to invest. When you look at the price of apartment, is as part of a big city, and it's not that expensive, and you have good rents. So actually, from the return in Moscow is actually it's not bad. And I don't know what you think about this, but when the war started, when you had when UK left Europe, I was like, okay, I need to buy an apartment in London. When the war started with Russia, I did a post on LinkedIn. So I have 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. At that time, I was, I think, one of the biggest guy talking about finance and everywhere. And at one point, wars, everything like this, it's like so. Everything is mixed up. It's really hard to understand what is happening. And when the war started, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy an apartment in Moscow. And the people in France that told me, like, what are you saying? You are like for the war, whatever. I mean, it's like here, during COVID, just after COVID, you have so many people that lost a lot of money here because they had in Bali. I was talking with taxi drivers. The guy, he's now 55. And now he was like, I'm not making money. It's really hard for me. Before I had 3 houses, 5 cars. But because of COVID, no one was here. So I sold my houses to leave and I sold my car. So now I have nothing. I need to start again, but I'm 65. And actually you have markets like this. And I think Bali is a market like this. I think maybe Miami on one hand, maybe Dubai, I don't know, but maybe you have markets when now I think we are everyone is coming here saying, oh, Bali is so nice. So you have everyone that want to buy houses, they want to buy villas, they want to build things. So everything is coming really expensive. If tomorrow we have another problem, I don't know what kind of problem, but maybe a war, whatever, or the tourism is less good here, the prices are going to be 10 times less. When we have this market moving a lot like this, I don't know why I'm saying this to you, but so you had $2,000 per month. Why you left Moscow to come to Bali?
Well, I never was living in Moscow for a long time, for the past 10 years. And I was studying there, but despite that, I always was staying in Europe or then eventually moved here to Bali. But first of all, because of the weather, of course, it's an important part. And then also because I'm a yoga teacher, and here it's, people come to Bali to recharge, for a healing journey and for a new experience. So I was thinking it's a good place for me to teach yoga.
So I saw on your Instagram that you show a picture of you with your degree, like yoga degree. So for example, if I want to be a yoga teacher, how do I do? So I practice alone and at one point, because it's not. So you have a degree from here, from where? Is it like how you know that it's a good degree? How you see this?
Yeah. So I just want to mention why I decided to become a yoga teacher, because for me, I knew first years you're gonna be like not so big incomes. I knew it will be more for myself because it's my lifestyle. It's what I love. As I said, when I started to make, because I still was like had the passive incomes and also working, I'm like, okay, I can start teach yoga, but I can't imagine people starting teaching yoga and then making money and living on this money, because it's, it's not stable and it's just not.
Yeah, you have a lot of people trying to do this.
But I mean, because first you need to gain experience as a yoga teacher. As a beginner, usually you will work almost for free. And for me, it's been good actually, because I had Instagram. And I have friends, like, for example, people who's inviting for yoga retreats, or for like they have some special events and they want to hire a yoga teacher for 2 days, or like, here in Bali, many things going on. So like there's always some work to do. But to become a knowing teacher, when you like can make money, I don't know, like have a group of people, like 30, 40 people in a class, it's, you really need to work for it. And as a beginner, usually you will start with just a small groups, and then it will be less money. And plus, most money comes from yoga retreats, workshops, and private classes. So you also need to gain knowledge and experience to be able to participate in this kind of jobs.
So you came here before. How many times you came here before you came to live here? Like you came like so you had like you came to Bali. You were like, okay, it's amazing for yoga. The weather is amazing, and you decided to come live here. I don't know, like what was the process?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of few things. First, because I was tired of living in the big cities. I was feeling that world is changing now. We're living in such a fast-paced world when it's really hard to sometimes navigate where I am. Like, where's my life? Every day same, like you're running somewhere and there's no time for yourself. So at that time, I was like, I want to change my life and I want to teach yoga. So Bali was the best solution for that.
You were looking in between different countries?
No, not really, because I knew that Bali, Ubud, especially Ubud, is the capital of yoga. So
we're going to talk about this, yeah.
Actually, I came during pandemic time when Bali was closed, and the only way was to make a business visa to get here, and plus stay in Jakarta for quarantine for 10 days. So I was really doing hard to get here, but I'm so happy I made this decision, because that time Bali was so different from what is happening now. And in terms of investments, like I have many friends who invested in Bali during pandemic time, because most of people come here with some savings. And then like, okay, this is so cheap. Okay, I will invest this money. And now there's people like they, making good money. Like one of my friends, he had few villas in Canggu. And he even he did renovation by himself during pandemic time, because there was nothing to do. And now he's from Italy. He's living in Italy, making money here, traveling, and now he opened his real estate agency here. So I have a few friends who started to business here. I was like, okay, I have some cash. Why not to try it? And plus, I had perfect business model. You know, I'm quite ambitious, and I never built the house by myself. But I'm like, okay, let's do it. And my business model was to build 2 villas. So one I can use to rent it out, and then second so I can live there.
What kind of, because here, so you have different, so it's 2 villas with 2 rooms in each villas and a pool?
Yes, so I met few agencies, and because I had my budget was $150,000, and I'm like, I checked, like I can build one villa, big villa, like with 2 bedrooms, or 2 small villas. So I was still deciding, and then because I decided, okay, if I will use agency, then I need to pay some extra, right? So what if I will try to do by myself and then save money and then build one, and then let's see if it goes well, then I will build second one. So I don't want to spoil anything, but it didn't go well. I mean, not as I planned. It's not like I lost money, not really.
How much money?
But eventually, yeah, it did. It's like there was many mistakes, and because I did it by myself, plus I decided to build with guy from Java. I mean, he has I checked his profile. He been building here for 10 years, and I thought it's a good good option. But eventually things didn't go well because of the mentality. And this is very important part.
Yes.
Because I'm a Russian. I mean, I'm not considering myself like 100% Russian because I left country a long time ago. But Russian and Balinese, Indonesian mentality is super different. And
What ways?
in many ways, even the way how like you can see like Russians always with this poker face, and Balinese and Indonesian, they're very smiley, and in their culture it's not normal if you're not smiling to them.
Right? Is it a real smile? Because sometimes here we have guys, they have a smile, but when I'm looking at them, it's like, it's not a real smile. It's they're faking a smile.
But it's not the same smile as in America,
Again, yeah.
Because it's, I think sometimes, yeah, if it's people from business, yeah, it can be fake smile. But in general, Balinese people, they're very friendly. And just because of lifestyle here, you can feel comfortable by living here, even if you're earning small money.
Yeah, the vibe here. So for everyone that are listening to us, so me, it's my first time in Bali. I went to Ubud without knowing what was Ubud. When I was there, I understood that it was the capital of yoga. I was like, okay, it's the capital of yoga. And for me, like Bali, so I lived in Africa, in Kenya, so Black Africa. And there, when you're white and you go out, it's dangerous. For a white guy, for a white woman, it's dangerous. You take a car. You cannot sit outside. You need to go in malls with like everything is locked, whatever. And I was there during also a terrorist attack. When I came here, you can walk everywhere. When you're a woman, you're even more safe, I think, here than in Paris, People are really friendly. They're not aggressive at all. But this is in Ubud. In Ubud, you have this vibe. So when I was in Ubud, I was like, Ubud is amazing. Like, the vibe is so good. I'm not, because, before the yoga vision, it was more like, hippies a bit.
Yeah.
People that they don't want to work. They're a bit outside. They're a bit strange. But it's absolutely, it's not this. There are people, you have normal people, not too esoteric people. It's like normal people, nice people, everyone is friendly, really. And people that don't want your money, they want to take your money. And I forget, they want to take your money. But when I came not far from here, so when I went to Senyak, I was in the street, people, they were asking me, do you want to come in my shop? Guys with like scooters, they were like, hey, come here. And this is for me the vibe that I don't like when you are in a country where people can know that you have a bit of money or they want to, sell stuff to you. And I don't like this vibe. But in Ubud, you don't have this vibe at all. For me, it's like, it was chill. You go somewhere, the food is good. It's cheaper. It's much more cheaper Ubud than here. Actually, I went to see a villa construction yesterday. So I was actually taking care of some construction in the villa yesterday because I was just working in a cafe. Two guys, French guy was talking about how much is the price of glass here? Yes, I need to buy concrete. I need to do this. I was like, okay, they're really in construction work. So I was like, hey guys, what do you do? Oh, we're gonna see the villa that we're building 5 minutes away from here. I was like, hey, can I come with you? Like, yeah, sure. I went there and we needed to take care of maybe what you had. We needed to take care of guys doing the construction. And actually, they don't really know how to do it. So even if you have a constructor, it's average, depending on who you are, but it's a bit average. So you need to do how to do stuff, to show people how to do stuff, and you really need to manage your construction. So this is why I want to know what happened to you, because if you never did, you can learn everything, and especially construction isn't that hard, actually, on this, big construction.
I had zero experience and knowledge in building houses. Yeah.
How did you do? Because you had this guy, maybe you gave money to this guy, he left with some money, or he was there and he was doing the work, or he was playing with you, we're gonna start tomorrow or whatever. How was it?
Yeah, it's I tried to share the most important parts, because here in Bali, I heard many stories workers running with money, especially when you pay them upfront, and for them even $10,000, it's huge.
Yeah, it's 10 years.
Yeah,
it's 10 years of jobs.
Yeah, and when you feel that these people they have yes, you have contracts and some agreement, but sometimes it's not enough. They can just run away with your money, and you can do anything because you in foreigners here. And the Bali government always will protect their citizens, always. So knowing that, this is what I realized only after living here for 3 years, because yes, Ubud, very, very friendly place, and I felt like home in Ubud. That's why I was living there for 2 years. And
it's safe. People, they're not taking your money outside. So
you can walk there in the middle of the night and you can feel safe. And especially if you're single woman. That's why there's many single women, by the way.
This is an year who's that?
And but despite that, still, when it comes to a point when, it's a big money, people can be different. And my constructor, I choose him because we had really good business model. And I felt that he has a good reviews. I saw he has a good reviews, and he was building many projects in Canggu and Lovato, mainly resorts. So I felt okay, one house will be nothing for this guy. But the problem was because he used to build resorts, and meantime he had few projects. He eventually decided to focus on building resorts than my house.
Yeah.
And because I was the woman, and I need to admit it's different here in Bali, and they have a very old school traditions. Women, they need to be specific way. There's no business woman. Or I heard stories when Balinese women are owning the businesses, they still have no respect from men. Even they have money and business, they're hardworking. I'm not saying it about everyone, but I felt that they're not respecting me because, I used to live in Europe, and, there's so many feminists. If you will say something, people will point on you And here in Bali, it's different story. And I didn't know if I will know, maybe I will choose to work through the agency. But I decided, no, I want to save money. I even didn't spend money on supervisor. So I was doing it all by myself. So I was checking projects 2 times a week, and I was there all the time. Not all the time, but there was like Ramadan. During Ramadan, they're not working. And plus, in Bali, they have many ceremonies. And
Lot.
yeah, and it's also difficult sometimes because if there is a ceremony, they're gonna skip work. Yeah, they never working during the ceremony.
It's almost every week, though, because
Not every week, but no, there's small ceremonies or like big ones when like it sometimes takes 2 weeks, for example. Yeah.
Because when I'm traveling around, they're almost like, I don't know, every 3 days or even every day, they're putting stuff in front of the house. Every like villagers, you have like decorations all the time. You can see sometimes I don't know anything. I actually need to learn about it. But sometimes they are all going somewhere and they're doing like big ceremony. And I've been here for like a month now. And for me, it's like almost every day, almost every day there is something. I'm like, okay, I really like it. Actually, it's really nice. But it's more Hinduism. It's more...
Yeah, it's in Bali, they have Hindu and also some Christians, but it's only 10% from the whole population. And then Muslims, but they live on north of Bali, mainly. And yes, it's true, they into ceremonies, but it's a small ceremonies, but sometimes they, like Yepe, for example, there is like days when they not using gadgets and like the whole island is off, like nobody's working, it's a silent day. And it's a big thing, so you can't like turn on the light. Yeah, so you need to use candles. Yeah, but it's happening like, happening once a year.
Okay.
But like what I'm saying, they have many similar ceremonies every like 2-3 months.
If you would go back to your house, so you had a guy, you asked him to build the house. He wasn't really doing the job because he has bigger projects. It's the same.
Yeah.
So you were like, okay, you were stuck. You tried to say, hey, guy, can you do your job? And he was like, not answering, not really.
Yeah. In the beginning, actually, it was good because he was planning to finish project in 5 months. It's a very simple project, nothing serious.
So 2 rooms, 1 villa, 2 rooms?
Yeah, 20 square meters villa, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, pool, like, but it's a joglo. It's not like a modern villa.
Okay.
I mean, it looks modern, and that was the idea. But why I decided to build a joglo? Because it's easier to build. I can finish in 5 months, and then I can build another one. So my idea was actually I supposed to spend about $60,000-$70,000 building the house you saw, and then I ended up to fix it by myself, and then I spent another $13,000.
So 100,000 for and you did part of the job. So the guy who was like doing this when we were site. So for the people that are listening to us, so you bought the land.
Yeah.
But here,
sorry.
Yeah.
I rent the land because you can't buy a land here. I mean, you can, but then you need to go through like so many processes. It's most of people, they just rent in land here.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, for me, it's like you are buying it, but like for 27 years, it's something strange. This is what you did, like 27 years?
30 years.
30 years, okay.
Yeah, with possibility to extend.
To extend. So usually here, I'm new here, but when I'm trying to understand, so if you want to build a house and sell it, people, they want to buy a house on the land for 25 years. So it's better if you want to build something and sell it. Actually, you are buying the land for 27 years. You are building the house. Maybe you have some problems. And when you have like 25 years, you can sell it if you want. Or you can go up to 30 years. But the problem when you're doing this, you need to pay more cash because you need to add like the 3 years more. And 30 years, I think it's what I know, it's kind of the maximum.
But you always can extend. And sometimes because farmers, they spend this money, in few years, they can come and ask for more money. So you can extend. After 5 years, you can extend for 5 more years and then for 10 more years. So it's it's easier. It's a simple process.
Simple process. So this is the part on how to buy land. For the land, you find the land by yourself, or you are walking. No, because actually, me when I'm walking, I'm saying like numbers. Hey, we are selling the land. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call you.
Yeah.
So how did it do?
Well, yeah, I also know some people. I had a manager helping me, but they actually the one who's walking around and asking people. And plus, sometimes you can just make a friend with be nice to meet with a farmer, and then you need a translator because most of them they don't speak English, but then you can ask them, and then you can even have a land for cheaper price. But I spend not so much money on the land, to be honest.
10,000?
No, 20. With plus documents, because you need to make soil documents and to prepare documents before you sign up. So $25,000 or so.
For how many square meters?
4.5 aras. Ara.
Oh, so it's a lot. It's big land.
Well,
I don't.
To compare with some people they buy like 100 or this year and all, because still it's cheap.
Yeah.
Or usually, people they buy lands for like 5 ara, 10 ara. Like for 4.5 ara, you can build a nice big house, like 120 square meters with the pool. Like I was thinking maybe because I bought a land with a stunning view on the rice fields, and I knew there's a green zone in front, so nobody will build in the future. That was also important.
How do you know this? How do you know it's a green zone? It's written somewhere, or it's
My manager told me, come check. And then on the right side, it was also part of the land of the farmers owner. And I thought, okay, I will build one, and then I can buy the land next to me and build second house if I like it. If it's all.
You're gonna do it? You're gonna do it?
No.
No? I don't want to.
Well, I decided I probably will sell my house and then build something else, but not in Ubud. But let's see. So my idea was, to try to build, because I just wanted to see how it goes. And I'm thinking I will make money more on selling my house, because now I'm renting it out. But let's see. I just checked profit. So in 5 years, I will get my money back. But I don't know, maybe I want to build more, or maybe I want to even invest not in Bali or somewhere else.
Where? Tell me where. Where is the next big?
Dubai.
That's true. No, because Dubai, you need a lot of money to go there.
Yeah, it's starting from $500,000. Yeah.
I really want to do an episode there, because you can see a lot of. There is something I think is risky about Dubai, but I need to learn. But my point of view is in France, you have a lot of people that are living same in Russia. It's cold, it's raining, you're living in the suburbs, you are not making a lot of money, it's boring. You're and then you see an ad saying, "Oh, buy an apartment with a nice view in Dubai for 40,000 euros."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah, I want to buy this in Dubai for 40,000 euros." But what you're gonna buy, it's always the same. It's an apartment. You have Dubai, the center, the marina, and you are buying an apartment so far away, and actually you cannot even sell it. It's shitty apartments.
It's a bubble. Like my friend, she invested. Her father invested money in an apartment in Marina.
28? No, when was it? When he invested?
Just 1 year ago.
Oh, just 1 year ago? Okay.
Yeah. But here, prices increasing by 30% every year.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
And then you easily can sell it.
Yeah.
Here, because now many investors in Bali. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but now it's a good market. In Dubai, it's not so easy to sell apartments because it's just too many same apartments and too many.
And actually, what is hard here is to build a nice house. It's complicated because people that are not that good at building houses, I think.
Yeah.
So when I was in the construction work, what we do in France, they are actually it's easy stuff to do, but they don't know how they're supposed to do. For example, for concrete, to do good concrete, they don't know how to do it. to do. They have ways of doing things, but it's not really nice. When you need to be behind. It's really cheap. Like a worker here, it's €7 per day.
Yeah, it's 100,000 rupees per day.
So
It's like almost nothing.
so you divide it by 1,000 and after by 15,000 to have euros, kind of. Yeah. So it's it's what I'm saying. It's like €7, kind of €7 per day for a guy. But the guy, he's not very good.
Yes.
He's gonna work. He's gonna be there. He wants to learn, but maybe he doesn't know how to write and he doesn't know how to count.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to show him exactly what he needs to do. So if you have even like a real guy doing the job, you ask him to do something, he's going to say yes, because they're a bit like Indians, Indian people. So for an Indian guy, you said to him, okay, do this. He's going to say yes, even if he's not going to do it, because it's cultural. In Russia, I'm not sure it's the same. In France, it's not the same. Like if in France, you're saying yes.
It's also not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
But here, they're really polite, so they say yes. So for me, the first time that I was working with like people in tech in India, they were saying yes to me. So I was like, okay, so they're gonna do it, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Or when you say to them, "Do you understand?" They say yes. Actually, they don't really understand. You need to make sure that okay, so show me whatever, because in a cultural point of view, it's not good or bad. It's just different. And here's the thing. So guys, they are going to say yes. For example, we're working on the concrete to do. We said, okay, you need to put this like this. Are you good? Yes. Are you going to do this? Yes. And he did one. And he needed to do like 10 of like a middle stuff. I'm like, okay, we need to be more with them. So it's really good to now. I think I understand a bit what you were doing on this. But so at one point you were like, so the guy, when you said that you were finishing your house alone,
Yeah.
what did you do? So you were with the workers and you were like, okay, guys, you need to you need to do the ground. You need to do this way. What were you doing?
No, that time my house was almost ready. It was
Okay.
like, almost ready. I just needed to fix the pool, the lighting, just the small stuff. I mean, I already moved in and I was feeling like I at home, but still needed to fix few things. But as I said, I'm not a good example because during the project, we had many problems with my constructor because he also was not really good in building. I was surprised because he finished many projects here in Bali, but maybe because he was not there or because he was in a hurry to finish because he just wanted to make money. So there was few really crazy, like for example, like in one of the rooms, he installed, there was like I had panoramic view and there's a door frames on both sides and one door frame was made of teak and then another one made of another type of wood. Imagine, like, in Europe, I'm not sure if you can see so many, like, mistakes, like even simple mistake that even me, I had no experience in building, but just seeing it, it's like, how it's possible, because it's like, logically, you cannot explain how they can make these mistakes. I will not go deeper into this subject because it was crazy, and but every time I needed to pay extra for additional for his mistakes, because that time it was the only way. He was saying I will not do it for free, and I was feeling that I don't want to, I don't know anyone in Bali. I don't want to lose him. And I spent some money on additional work because I was not aware with some things was not discussed in the beginning. And it also was my mistake because I'm like, I don't need a super, I was quite optimistic. That was the only.
But now you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for this experience and I know, I will make money on this house, but I could save more money if I will be more experienced.
You can sell it for like 1,070?
No, I can sell it for 200,000
200,000?
next summer.
Makes sense.
maybe even more. Let's see, because as I say, the price is changing a lot.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
I will say, so total price for the house is
Mm.
120,
Uh-huh.
100,000, because plus including the land.
Uh-huh.
So when I will sell it, it will include and be included the land.
So you will do kind of double price on the house.
Yeah, of course.
And this is what is amazing here. You can do the same in Europe, but not the same way. I think the difficulty that you have here, I think for me, it's more easy to do stuff here than in France. Because for a lot of reasons, but one is that you can fire people. You can do the work. It's not difficult. The norms to build the houses here, it's really, you can do whatever you want. And no, because you have, okay. So in the process, you have two licenses. One, you need to ask, okay, I'm going to build this house. Do you agree that I'm building this house? And you have another one that is in the end of the construction. You need to show your house and that the house is good. I'm right?
Actually, you can get these documents at the end, both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
but in the future they will change the rules, because that's why everyone is building now. They're not so strict with documents. You can build and then you can make documents. Nobody's gonna, of course, maybe someone will knock in your door and ask for these documents, but I don't think so.
So so I think it's and you have like so much opportunities, because when you know how it's like here, it's so bad because I think I'm a bit too late, but I think it's still the time to do it. But when you see life here, so you can eat like I have the same lifestyle here than in France, but I think it's divided by maybe. Okay, here I'm not drinking. So I need to adapt, because like drinking in Paris is really expensive. When you have like a bottle of wine, it's really expensive. Here, I think it's expensive too, but I'm not drinking, so I don't know. But here it's like, for my lifestyle, maybe it's like 20. It's not even half price, but 10 times. Because the quality here is... So, for example, you go in Paris in a nice hotel. You go in Paris in a nice place to have, for example, an amazing breakfast in Paris. Brac, 5 stars hotel. 240 euros to have the breakfast. Here, the same, 13, 40 euros. Really with the same service, the same food, a better view, because you can be in front of the ocean. And when you look at this, especially if you have... So I really understand why French people, they like it here, because they have a level of luxury they cannot have in France. Me, I can have it in France, but when I'm here, I'm like... so actually, I don't really... when I see the pricing, then I'm like, oh yeah. So I really understand why people are coming here. The service is so good. People are good. Okay, you have bad stuff, but actually they're better than in France for services. It's like, especially if you go really high-end stuff, depending what, but it's like really cheaper. If you go to normal stuff, it's really cheaper also. But like the more you go with luxury, the more the difference is huge. Like it's my point of view. And when you have a life in France, where now, like, if you don't have 1,000, 2,000 euros, or in Paris, if you don't have, I don't know, like 2,000, 3,000 euros, you cannot live in Paris. Here, I think with 1,000 euros, if you're not too crazy, you have a really good life. You can go out in really nice places to have cafes. You can have really good, like, meals. So when you have this geographic, you are saving so much money. When you're coming here, you are saving so much. Okay, if you are sick or whatever, maybe it's different, but I don't know this type, but it's so nice. Like right now, when you're here, you're like, it's amazing what you can have for your money. I don't know what you think about it, but and especially if you're in yoga, because you can go to different yoga classes every day. So I don't know how you see this, and how you see this compared to, Europe, because mostly you're, comparing to Europe. I don't know.
Well, why I like Bali? Because you can feel comfortable by like earning any money. I mean, like you cannot see the difference between like in Europe. You can feel like if people they not making so much money, like there's like so many homeless and people who's like really suffering, and this like I'm very empathetic person. And, I could feel it, like the change differences in the range of the people. Here in Bali, I would say just in general, people living happily. They really enjoying their life because they don't need to work hard to live a good life. I mean, as you said, like 2,000-3,000 euros, and you can feel, you can even live a luxury life here. Then in Europe, you will almost survive on this money. So this is, I think, cool. And also because Bali culture is really nice. Like for myself, I felt like I learned so much from Bali culture about slow living, about how to just be connected with nature, and also about rituals. And I think that's what we're missing sometimes when we're focusing too much on money and earning money, and you're feeling like, oh, I want to be the best. And this is what capitalism says to us, like that we're not enough. Just by agenda, we're not enough. So we always need to earn more and more and more money so we can feel good. But at the end, you still feel like something is losing, right? So here in Bali, you just...
How is your dad? No, I'm just...
Huh?
How is your dad? No, because when you were talking about this, I'm just remembering what you were saying about your dad. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and he's still believing.
Yeah.
He's not gonna change, and and it's fine because of his example. I can live my life actually because I saw that by focusing only on money, it's not gonna make you happy. So what else to do? So then I decided to go to a wellness industry, and this is how I found myself. So for me, the climate, the environment here, the prices, as a yoga teacher, I mean, now I'm making good money when I'm doing yoga retreats, private classes, and the workshops. I can't say like I make a lot of money on a group classes, like even if there's like 20-25 people still. It's more about promotion, because then people see you and then they willing to book a private class, or they interested in upcoming projects like the events.
So now you have your house. You are not paying like a rent. I'm really boring, I know. You have and you have your apartment in Russia, so you have you can live with this. And on top of this, you have your business. You want to have a slow life, so you are trying to develop your business, but you don't have pressure. Or do you have pressure?
No, now I don't have a pressure.
Okay.
I'm certainly leaving to Dubai. I'm gonna teach there. I was teaching there last year for 2 months, and it was good for me as a yoga teacher. And I would say, if you have opportunity to travel as a yoga teacher, because here in Bali still it's nice, but as I said, like you're making good money only like in yoga retreats and workshops and private classes. There you can make even money by just teaching a group class, just because it's different prices. So I just wanted to answer your question. So here in Bali, I don't need to worry about money, and I can just stop working. But in Dubai, because it's different lifestyle and prices, of course, I need to work.
How many days per? What is your target? What is your? So now you have your perfect lifestyle. The lifestyle you have now, it's what you want, or do you want to change the lifestyle you have now? It's not a tricky question. Like, do you like your life? It's more like what you have today. Are you happy? Not happy, but how many days are you working per week? Is it what you want, or do you want to try something else now?
Yeah, very existential question. I mean, now I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm a very ambitious person, and I feeling like, how I can improve. Not in a way, making lots of money, but more like doing some interesting projects. So for me, I want to focus more on the yoga retreats next year, because building here was taking too much energy, and I was just teaching but not making big projects as a yoga teacher, just because I couldn't do both. So now I want to focus more on teaching yoga. Yeah, I feel like, okay, I wanted to, because I was feeling like if it's the building in Bali will work for me, I will just do this job and teaching sometimes. But I decided that it's better for me to focus on yoga, and not just from perspective, okay, I will do it just for fun or as a hobby, just a couple of times a week, just because I like it, but really focusing, because if working a lot, I mean, like I had times when I was working like 7 times a week for a few months. I mean, it's not a good idea. It was like not, it was interesting experience, but
Was too much?
it was too much, yeah.
So 7 times was like once per day?
Yeah, like I had the classes, and plus I was doing video, we were filming online classes on the weekends.
Yeah.
No, it was a collaboration with Ala Yoga, and we were filming about 4 or 5 videos per day, and it's including physical practice. So I was feeling a little bit burnt out after a while.
Yeah, but the thing is, because when you're ambitious, it's really hard to, you are trying limits all the time. Because if you want to increase, even yoga, if you want to do, so I'm not good at all in yoga. I went in yoga barn, actually, it was really nice to go there. But for me, it was so hard. The things that you are doing are actually mostly girls, because I think it's not the same for guys. Although 2 guys were really good. All the guys, it was so hard. Like, it's relaxing for everyone, but us, we were like struggling. It was so hard. People that were relaxing, and us, even this, like the relaxation part was like so hard, because like it's stretching, whatever. What I'm saying is like, when you want to improve, you need to go ahead and you need to put energy. And if you are putting energy, you have the risk of being exhausted, the risk of like doing something too much. And you always have this. I think it's not possible to, improve respecting your limits, because your limit is moving, because you're getting better, so you can move a bit, but you need to be careful because you can hurt yourself. It's the same yoga, it's the same everywhere.
Yeah, I think it comes with the experience, because first, especially if you like what you do and you're like, okay, I'm full on, I will like spend all my time on it because I really enjoy it, and then plus I'm making money on it, so why not? But at some point you feel like, oh, I'm exhausting myself. So then why I'm doing it if I'm exhausting myself? Because then it's affecting my life, it's affecting my health, and then better just to stop to do it. And I remember I had a 1 month break. I went to India because that's how much I was exhausted.
You went to India?
Yeah, just after living in the space for a few months, I decided to take a break for a month because I was super exhausted. And this is what I learned, how to keep balance between, working and also like find the time for yourself. And
are you a type of person when you really feel like energy around you? So if the energy is like Moscow or Paris or New York, it's aggressive. Are you feeling this like in your body and you want to escape, or you need to escape, or you're not like this?
Yeah, actually, it's an interesting question, because we are women, we're more sensitive, physically sensitive than men. I mean, like, just in general, how you experience life through your senses. And sometimes your body can register so much, while your brain can just explain everything logically. And you're like, no, I think it's wrong or right, but sometimes your body really knows what's the best for you. And the same about living in different countries and places. In some places you feel like, wow, and this is also what I feel about Bali. Here, it's so nice, energetic field when you don't need to drink coffee, you don't need to, of course you need to do yoga.
Yeah.
But it's just so good life here that you're full of energy all the time. In the big cities, I would say it's more energy draining, just because the life pace and people, it's different people, and it's more like different frequency. But at the same time, if you making good projects, like you have a friends and your life set, then why not to do it? But for me, I prefer to live in a big city for a few months and then back to island, because this is just more my lifestyle.
So now, like your typical week today, it's you are going to some yoga centers to do classes. So they put your picture on the wall saying, okay, this is Daria at 8 this morning. She's going to do energetic power yoga, for example. And you have 1 or 2 times per week you are doing this. And after you are planning once every 3 months to do retreats. How does it work? How are you like putting your typical week, and how are you putting all your retreats? When is it? How it works?
Yes, here in Bali, I used to teach in yoga studios, and also I had my classes. So about 2 years ago, I started to organize yoga classes for Russians. I just made a post once about in Instagram about yoga classes, and then people, they just came without knowing me, and it was quite successful, because it's not so many Russian teachers here, and some Russians, they prefer Russian teachers because of the language barrier or something else, or mentality. So I had both. So I had periods when I was working like every day, as I said, like 2 classes a day. Or I had time when I was working, just like last year I was working not so much because I was busy with my house, because and it was stressful. In the beginning, you asked me like how I was handling the stress, because my life is quite, in general, my life is stress-free. I mean, like I'm teaching yoga, like I have like passive incomes. But since I started to live in Bali, it was like completely the opposite. And I was feeling stressed because it's money, it's like your time, and you want it to work, and you see that people is not professional, and it's affecting your mood. So at some point I was feeling like it's impossible to combine teaching yoga and real estate business, because it's just too stressful. And just because of my practice, it's helping me to still stay balanced. And there was moments when I wanted to scream. And because it was like very emotional for me sometimes, when like there was mistakes, or I was feeling that my constructor lied to me, or I felt I was feeling that, like my workers and my constructor, they not respecting me in a way I wanted, because I was a boss. Let's say I was the one who's paying money, and I expected them to behave certain way, but it was not. Like, we had a few situations. So for me, it was even like it was not nice. Yeah.
So, in my head, I'm very like into boxes. So part of the so you have your. So yoga, you are doing, how much are you making for a month if you are not doing the retreats with your...
Oh, if I'm not making retreats, just in Bali, the price is different, and it's sometimes even less than in Russia or Dubai. So sometimes it's like $1,500, sometimes even $1,000. It's just...
So 1,000.
So, for example, if I do in private classes, then I can make more money, because it's more profitable. But if it's yoga retreats, that I can make like $10,000 I mean 2 weeks, or like 1 week. it just depends.
For yoga retreats, who is your target? So it's more Russian woman. You post on Instagram, and they see what you are doing, and they're like, okay, I want to go and work with Daria, and so I'm going there, and I'm gonna pay like the tickets. You are providing the housing, the place, the program, whatever. It's your target, or what is your target for your retreat?
Yeah, it's both men and women. It's not necessarily from Russia. There's people from all around the world, and the age also depends because people mostly want to recharge and spend more time with the likewise people, and stay in a nice hotel and do yoga and enjoy time. But we organize in the retreat. Usually it's like 5-7 days, and it's all included, so they can forget about any expenses. I mean, like we have a schedule and we guiding them through whole day.
It's a week.
It's a week, yeah, 5 or 7 days.
5 or 7 days. So it's in Ubud or it's in Ubud? Or
usually it's north of Ubud. It's not really in the center of Ubud because I think people want to spend more time outside of noisy Bali. So usually we organize in retreats and rent in a villa with a few rooms.
how many people usually when you're doing this? It's
5, 7.
5, 7.
Yeah, for
But
now.
your target is your target is like to 5, 7, or you want to do 10?
In the future, yeah.
So I'm a bit new in yoga, but when you are going to yoga classes, some of them you are like 30, 40 people. But it's not the same. Like, I think it's a lot when you are 40 people. And when you are doing yoga, you don't really care. But after, if you want to like connections or whatever, I think 40 people. For me, like 40 people, it's a lot. 10 people, or you can know everyone, you can talk.
Yeah, in group classes, usually it's more people because it's 1 day pass, right? But for a yoga retreat, because people need to spend like 7 days, not everyone have free 7 days to stay away from their job or their family. And plus, it's pricey. I mean, it's different price than you spend on 1 day class. So it also depends. But I think nowadays, like many people doing retreats now, because we, as I said, we live in such a fast-paced world, and that's the only escape sometimes.
Yeah, and it's me. I think I need to do more retreats, I think it's a really good way to do really something. Because go one time in a yoga class. Okay, you go one time. It's not going to, maybe it's going to change your life. But when you do a retreat, during 5 days, you take 5 days. Maybe 5 days is not enough, but it's already good. And you go somewhere, you're really experiencing something. How many retreats do you do per year?
Not too many. I just started. It's like 2 yoga retreats a year. And there's like some people, they do it like not every month, like every 2 months or 3 months. And I like also to dedicate my time to my practice and also upgrade my knowledge in yoga. I always doing some workshops and courses to learn something new, because I think it's everlasting process. And I've been into yoga for 10 years, but still there's always something to learn. But yeah, my idea, I think first I need like to take care of myself, to nourish myself, and then I can share this energy with others. So I'm not doing it too often.
So if it's, for example, for next year, you want to do 1 or 2?
Let's see. Yeah, I think 2, but maybe more. Who knows? Because we are planning to organize a retreat outside of Dubai. So it will be a short yoga retreat, like 3-4 days. So maybe, because it's only 3-4 days. maybe we will do it more often. Let's see.
If tomorrow you are saying to your on Instagram, just to understand, if you are saying like tomorrow on Instagram, okay, I'm doing a retreat in Ubud in March, 10 people only. How much it is? What is the price?
$3,000 with no tickets. If it's 7 days, including everything.
Okay.
Or it can be less if like we spend less money on excursions, or if people want to spend more time in something to on their own.
So, for example, if you're coming from France, you need to pay. I don't like to come here. It's like the cheapest, maybe it's 500 euros. After you have no limit, but I think average price maybe it's 700 for the tickets. And after, so the cost of it's like 3,500, 4,000 euros per week of yoga.
But then you will stay in a beautiful hotel, food included, breakfast, lunch, dinner, then excursions, then transfer, then, also if there's some problems, sometimes people like faint or like they have Bali.
Yeah, Bali. Yeah, it's insane. We need to talk about this because I know stuff about it now. So it's okay. So your program. So for example, if you, on your Instagram, because this is in business with the community that you have, if you do just a post and saying, okay, I have one in March, do you think your audience now, you have enough people to have 10 people coming like this? Or do you think you need to acquire new people? Do you think you need to, maybe now it's not, what is your way of looking at this? What is your strategy?
Well, from my experience, many people interested. They are always texting and asking about upcoming projects, but we're always asking for a deposit. So then we know how many people will be in a group. And sometimes people they change their plans and they're not sure, or maybe something does work, and maybe they say, okay, next time I will join you guys. So it's always depends. So many people texting, but very few ready to pay deposit. So
it's true, and it's it's not for everyone. I don't know. After I think you just need to have the right target, because it's not expensive. It's just need to have the people allowing to have this for our yoga session. So now if you do it, you are not going to sell like a 100, like 10. It's not going to be like sold out like in a post, right? You need a bit more work.
And because as I said, I just started to organize yoga retreats, and I think if we will be more stable in doing it more often, then people will be like, okay, because if people never saw, they saw you, but they never had a real experience with you, right? Because, people who's have you come to my classes here in Bali, they already living here in Bali. They never will come for a yoga retreat. They will, but not, most likely they not. So these people from the abroad, they saw me on Instagram, but then, okay, it's a big deal to travel to Bali. And then, maybe in the future when we will have at least experience of 10 yoga retreat, and then people will be like, okay.
So it's because it's a start. So you don't know, because now, I know exactly who is my client. It took me depending on what product, but it took me maybe 3 years to understand exactly who is my client, what he wants, and also with who I'm good. You have people, I know it's not going to work. It's not going to work between us. I know other guys, I know, okay, it's going to work because you have this energy, you are thinking this way. And with me, it's going to be amazing. So it's going to be fantastic. You do have, because you already did some classes, so maybe you already know that you're working very good with the type of guy, woman, maybe age, maybe way of thinking, maybe a type of problem also, stress, or I don't know. Do you have this?
Mostly it's the young people, to be honest, but I would like to teach people with who's 40 and 50, because I think it's important for a yoga teacher to expand and have a bigger audience and to be able to teach any levels and people with a different constitution and ability. And mostly it's a young people who's into IT, into investments, or also models, girls from Instagrams. They just follow me in Instagram and they like how I'm doing us, and they like, oh, I want to do the same. Like you can see in my profile. Yeah. But I always teach people not only about not only asanas. So of course it's important to have a strong practice, but at the same time I'm not just stuck on a physical part. So I always have something else to share about yoga philosophy, about breath work, how it's affecting our hormone system, our nervous system. So it's not only about like the shape, and in general, yoga, it's not about shape, it's about feelings. Yeah. So that's the idea.
Where can we find you? I will put your link on under the podcast, but can you say maybe what is your name on Instagram so we can find you online?
Sure, I have a YouTube channel, I have Instagram. We can
put it, but what is your name? Like if they are just listening and they are with their phone and they want to write it on YouTube or Instagram, what is the name of your Instagram?
Yeah, it's Plot of Daria. You can find it. It's first page in Instagram when you type it.
Okay.
Yeah, and in YouTube it's Daria Plotnikova.
Okay, so we'll write it because maybe for French people it's when we listen to it, it's like it's amazing. If there is like what is the advice that you can say to someone starting? Because now you are financially free. You find a way to be financially free with the lifestyle you have now. Of course, if you want to travel all the time, whatever, it's gonna be different. If there is someone like listening to us and she is a bit lost, maybe in France, because it's mostly French people. Maybe now because we're speaking English, maybe we have other people. But if someone is like, okay, maybe I want to go to Bali, maybe I want to be a yoga teacher in Bali, or what is the advice that you can give to them to? I don't know if you have an advice about it.
Well, maybe it will sound too esoteric because I think follow your heart at the first. Like if you feel okay, I'm really inspired by this idea to go to Bali, to travel to Bali, then just do it and stop to analyze and just do it. Sometimes it's the best way because when we too into analysis, we used to doubt ourselves, and that's not the best way. And sometimes it's more about action. So if you feel you have a dream to travel to Bali, for example, then just do it. And from financial part, I mean, it's still like people think. I had some friends who like from Istanbul or from Moscow, they just used to leave the comfort zone for comfort life for, a long time, work home. And then the idea of leaving this comfort zone is really scary. And sometimes all you need to do is just to make one more step to, leave this comfort zone and try something new.
Like a yoga retreat.
Yeah, like a yoga retreat. Yeah, we're gonna leave the information down below.
Sure. Do you have something else? It was really, really nice to start with you. I think I have a lot of questions that we're not talking about, but it's really interesting because we did not talk about the difference between Russian view and French view, but in a way you answered because you are maybe it's wrong, but I think in Moscow it's still you like to show off. You like to have a nice car, BMW. You like to have a Mercedes. You want to show, like in the American way, actually, you want to show that you're successful. And if you show money, people will be like, okay, he is successful. In France, it's not the case at all. I think it's more communist than Russia. No? France is like really communist. It's like you need to be more, actually it's more your mindset in a way, but maybe you are doing business, and you can talk about money and talk about business. And also you say that it's not important for you, but you can do the both. In France, it's either one or either the other. So kind of no one is talking about money because it's like you feel guilty of having money in France.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, you need to like what you are doing, and money is not essential, but you say that money is evil. So we have, the two. I'm not sure if it's clear what I'm saying, but you lived in Paris, so I think you did what I'm saying. So for you, what is the difference between the two mindset, like Russian mindset and French mindset? Do you think now you have a new generation that is more like you, or do you think there is a big difference? What do you think about this?
Well, background is really important. As you know, Russia was a communist country before. Everyone was equal, and everyone was like very tight with like suffering with money. There was just basic things you could earn, and then when Soviet Union collapsed, then we had the opportunity to negotiate and collaborate with other countries. So then we had expansion of different opening new businesses, and people that time, it was like 90s, when people felt more stable in life financially. Then they felt like, okay, of course we want to show, because before we were like so poor, now we want to.
It's like new rich people, like
exactly.
New rich people in France. Yeah.
And I think the next stage is when people will be okay, we have financial freedom, so not a big deal, what next we will do. Because when you have a foundation, then you can improvise, then you can be more free in okay, what really I want from my life, not too stuck in a paradigm of okay, money. And I think it's important. But when you just think about money, it gives you that's why people go to retreats. That's why they do vipassana meditation, because it's important to have freedom in your mind, right? But if you stuck in this idea of I'm dependent on the money, and that's the only source I have in my life. If I have no money, I'm nothing in this world. But it's not true. As I said, we all enough by agenda, by just the fact that we are humans. We if you healthy, if you have a dream in your life, you always can do it, no matter what. If you believe in yourself
and in life,
life, and if you have this idea that if tomorrow I have no money, I will just die. You will be living in this cage, or not cage, the mental construct, and we will be scared of tomorrow. So that's why I think it's important to be free from this idea. Okay, it's important, of course, it's important to have a financial freedom, but at the same time, if I will lose something tomorrow, I'm not gonna die from it. I will reborn. I will create something else too. I will find a way to make money, or to make even more money, And I think that's the most important, because then you feel that you are creator of your life and nothing defines you. Because it's true, nothing defines us. It's only our choice, what kind of life we want and where we want to send our energy.
What I can wish you for the next year?
For the next year?
Yeah, next year. Or the next 5 years, depending on the...
many yoga retreats, many yoga projects. And let's see, maybe it will be the few more houses in Bali, but I think next time I'll just use a supervisor and the agency. So, yeah.
Thank you, Daria. Do you want to add the last sentence?
Well, I think we already discussed so many important topics, but as I said, it's important to sometimes this is a cosmic law, the rules of life, and there's always cycle of expansion and constriction in anything. And the same for person. Like sometimes you feel like, okay, I want to go to this world and I want to show what I'm capable of, or I want to manifest my ideas and stuff. Yeah, but don't lose yourself in it. If you need the time to take time for yourself or to recharge, just do it and spend time with yourself. I don't know, like go to Vipassana or just stay at home and do yoga, and it will help you to grow. It will help you to expand and do even more beautiful projects in life.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing. I think it's the best sentence to finish this. Thank you again for the interview, and I hope to see you soon. And we'll find your retreat online and everything, and follow what are your projects in mind.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow.
Vous venez d'écouter un épisode de la retraite à 40 ans. N'hésitez pas à en parler autour de vous, à vous abonner, à rajouter 5 étoiles et à mettre un petit commentaire. Ça nous aide vraiment beaucoup. Pour être informé des nouveautés, rendez-vous sur devenirfrugaliste.com. Une question, je réponds sur LinkedIn, Victor Laura, Lora. Et surtout, n'oubliez pas, vous êtes déjà au top. À très vite.